Hey everyone, I hope everybody's having a great day. I'm very fortunate. I'm very excited about this interview right now because I did not just meet this individual. Carl has been in the real estate game for over a decade, right?
17 years.
17 years. I know him, his mother really well, the team at Provision Immobilier. So thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Thank you very much, Jimmy, for having us.
Perfect.
Having me on your show. I'm saying us.
No problem. But the thing is, I'll go straight to the point. Yes, there's a lot of real estate agents in Montreal, in Canada. There's a lot, right? But you, correct me if I'm wrong, you're part of the 1% of top producers, correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
So, actually, in terms of luxury is not necessarily just a price point.
Okay.
Because I could easily sell an apartment for $400,000 and consider that a luxury property. The only difference, it's 500 square feet. So if you break it down on a square footage basis, it's a hefty price point for that size property. So yes, I like to think of myself as a luxury specialist.
I like that.
I actually received a certification about 5 years ago from Christie's International Real Estate Education as a certified Christie's luxury specialist. It was a formation that they did in Scottsdale, Arizona. And to tell you the truth, the one thing I can say that's nice is whether you sell a property that's for $250,000 or you sell a property for $2.5 million, the only difference is the paycheck. That's the only difference. I give the same service to that client who has a lower budget as they do as a higher end budget, but working with a higher end client is generally easier because they have, generally of course, the financial means to purchase a property. While when you're dealing in a lower end market, or when you, I apologize for the term, cater to the masses, well, most people have no clue about how they have to finance, how they have to mortgage, what bank they have to go to, what to do. And there are a lot of brokers who work that mass market who have to carry their clients to the banks to pre-qualify them. We don't do that. Probably 8 out of 10 sales we do is a cash sale. So we never even get involved with a mortgage broker. We send the offer to our client's banker and we get a letter in the next 2 to 5, 6 days confirming the client's got his 1.2, 2.2, 3.5, whatever it is, $1 million in the bank account to buy the property. And it ends there. That's it. So we're very behind the scenes. Most people who have the budget, I should say, to purchase these more upscale homes want to work with low-key people. They don't want to be name dropped. You know, that's one of our criteria is actually at Profusion is we're known to be very, very low-key and discreet, which I think is very important in 2019, going to 2020. You have the people who want to be known, but most people, when it comes to their personal wealth, i.e. their principal residence, they don't want everybody to know. They don't want the government to know. They know how much you pay, but they don't want their names advertised.
Let's talk about Christie's.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think you're successful because of the brand or because of your people skills and your ability to close?
Actually, very good point. I've never been one to say I'm the best because the best can be defined very differently from person to person.
Okay.
You know, you ask a client what defines the best broker. Is it the one that makes the most money, the one that makes the most amount of sales, or the one that actually gives you his time and day and valuable knowledge to give, like, you know, what defines being the best? So Christie's only wants to work with the best agencies.
Not just anybody.
No, you have to be selected to be part of their network. There's a hefty price to being selected. There's the affiliation fees are very, very high. But when you're selected and chosen to be part of the network, it's because you have obtained either a reputation or you have proven track record of the level of service or volume of sales that you do.
Mm-hmm.
Before Louise opened Profusion,
which is your mom,
Louise being my mother, we were partners working together. Not always easy working with a parent or a family member as a partner, but we were doing very, very, very well. But what Christie's allowed us to do was just go to the next level.
Which is?
From being, let's say, in the top 5% brokers to top 1%. And I'd probably tell you I am now part of the 1% of the 1% today.
Well, congratulations.
There's
man.
probably, I tell you, 10 to 12 brokers in the city that, I like to think that do what we do. I don't think I'm the best, but I like to think that I'm the one who gives the most personal attention to their clients and the one who actually wants to develop a relationship with the client. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't believe in mixing business with pleasure. I'm the one who actually thinks it's nice to develop a relationship with clients, and if you have the time, go out for dinner with them.
Wine and dine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you think there's a crash coming? Because we're due, right?
I don't think there's a crash coming, because if we...
Or a correction, let's say, crash.
Well, I can tell you now, being in December 2019, the last month of 2019, I can see that there is some sort of stability coming, or that already has come in the especially higher end real estate market. I think buyers are a little bit more sensitive. They're no longer just throwing numbers down on offers when it comes to buying a property. They really do their due diligence a little bit better. I think some sellers are also a bit more realistic. A lot of sellers says, well, if my neighbor sold for this, my house is better, I should be able to get that. We're not so much in that market right now. I think people are a little bit more sensitive to where they have to be if they want their property sold. And at the end of the day, I do expect price to increase vis-a-vis the average property in 2020 from 2019. I don't expect fewer sales. I just don't expect the same amount of growth that we had from 2018 to 2019. That for sure, I don't think will happen again at all.
Interesting. Let's talk about location, right? Mm-hmm. In your opinion, where, let's say somebody has a couple of $1 million, they want to buy a family home, this and that. Obviously, you live in Westmount.
Yes.
Right? What's the best location in your opinion?
Look, everybody raises their families differently.
Of course.
I happen to live on the flats of Westmount, which going back 20 years ago was not sought after, and today is probably the most sought after neighborhood because you can do everything walking distance. I live 3 blocks from the Atwater Metro, and I live 2 blocks from Selwyn House. So if you have a boy and you live walking distance, Westmount has 5 private schools. 4 private schools. 5. You can't get better neighborhood when you're talking number of schools than Westmount. I used to
5 private or public?
5 private.
Okay.
There's 2 public schools, 2 or 3, and I think there's 5 private schools.
You're obviously going to put your kids in public, of course.
Oh yeah, of course. No, I'm a product of the boarding school.
Yes.
Going back in the Eastern Townships, so I'm a strong believer in the private sector for education. I really think teachers give the extra effort, possibly because they have the time to, not to diminish the public school system, but I really think the private school system is a better approach if you want a better education for your kids.
And before releasing, what were you doing? You were selling shoes, right?
I was selling jeans. In a very local store in Westmount. And it was funny, I was selling, going back 17 years ago, jeans for $225 to $275 a pair. And my mother says, you should go into real estate. And I did. And today I'm selling, a big chunk of my clients are the same clients that you sell those jeans to going back 17 years ago, 20 years ago. So, I guess I did something well. I did something right. And I guess what motivates me is to succeed. I am not, I'm a very motivated person. I'm driven by success, but I get more pleasure, Jimmy, from closing a deal,
of course,
and making clients happy than actually getting paid. That is the truth.
Because eventually it's going to karma. Eventually it's going to come back.
Yeah. And most of the clients I work with will probably know that from me. It's not yeah, of course, it's about the money. We're all in business to make money. but it's not about the money for me. It's really to be able to guide my clients properly. And for most, even wealthy clients, their home is the best and most expensive investment or money they'll spend money on. So I want to be able to guide them through the process properly.
So far, after 17 years in real estate,
Yes.
what was your biggest highlight? Or your biggest transaction, let's say?
You know, it's funny. It was going back about 3.5 years ago. I sold a house in the Eastern Townships to a client of mine, a repeat client. And the Eastern Townships is not my local turf, but she would never buy a property without my assistance. That's how much trust she has. And it took me a year to make the deal happen because the seller had expectations of $5 million, and we wind up closing the deal at $2.5 million.
Beautiful.
But I had told my client, sit tight, be patient. You will get a call from me one day, and I will tell you the seller's finally ready to accept your price. And that is exactly what happened. So I did my follow-ups with the other broker. We worked well together, and we made it happen. But that took the confidence I had, and it took the patience, but I also took the experience where I knew I could make it happen for the client. It's one of those things. That was probably the best transaction I ever did. It wasn't my most profitable one, but was definitely the one where I have to say was the most enjoyable one.
Awesome. Well, congratulations for your success. Keep on doing what you're doing. Congratulations
Thank you.
for
Thank you very much, Jim.
beautiful Sophia.
Thank you. Beautiful
And
little girl,
Lucas.
12 weeks old. My son Lucas.
4 years, no?
He's
Lucas?
going to be 4 in February.
Beautiful. So keep on doing what you're doing, and your inspiration, your mom, the whole team. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Jimmy, and a very happy holiday season to you, your wife, and everybody on your show. You all deserve much success, and all the best for 2020.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. But you still have to take me to my